Broadcasting from the Red Bed Plains, you are now listening to Through the Prairie Smoke.
Season 2 opener. Start of spooky season. Early September. Guys, it's beautiful out.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
Sunny right now.
It's sunny, but it's like, what, 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's great.
Only supposed to get up to the mid-70s today, so
Beautiful.
it's going to be great.
When I get closer to the mic, it makes me want to do more of a late night. Hey, guys.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
We do appreciate people tuning in.
It's 2 a.m. Mountain Range. Dude, look at the wrapper on that.
What you smoking over there, buddy?
Red Meat Lovers. Dunbarton.
Okay.
It's freaking good. I think the sizes are like named after steaks.
Yeah.
And I think this is the ribeye.
Okay.
It's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.
Is it infused?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the meat significance?
No, yeah, it's meat flavored. No, I
wondered if there was like a pairing thing going on, like a wine pairing.
Before you light it, you dip it in this French dip over here.
Your au jus, your cigar au jus.
I would do it. I'd straight up do it.
Make it hard to light. It'd be wet.
That's just if you're going to chew it.
Steve Saka from Dunbarton, for some club, he blended these cigars, and it was only for them. Like, it wasn't for production or anything. But he decided to put it into production, and now everybody can get a hold of them.
Awesome.
And they're pretty good. I don't know what the sizes exactly are, but the bigger one's a porthouse. This one's a ribeye. Mm-hmm. They have the smaller one that's round, and it's a beef stick.
Okay.
and it does look like a beef
Is it
stick.
like Blackbird's flamingo size?
No, it's a little bigger. They have a very unique flavor. Like, I will say, I don't get a lot of flavor notes, but when I smoke these, there's some notes that I cannot pinpoint, but it is so different from any other cigars that I've had, and I've had a lot. Probably more than I should.
Nah, everybody needs a hobby. Huh, Sarah?
I don't have any hobbies.
Okay.
Not even a podcast?
This is my life.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
Sorry.
Why would you call this a hobby?
Strong start to season 2 here.
What are your thoughts on Disney?
Can we not? Oh, we are going to talk about some Disney.
We'll
today,
talk about
though.
some Disney.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. But we're going to talk about early Disney.
It's relevant.
With some crooners.
It's relevant.
One crooner. Is crooner an insult?
Crooner? Like, you mean like a 50s lounge singer?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. Cool. Sarah, what you drinking over there?
Oh, I was so excited about my new cup that I forgot to even think about my tea that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Lavare?
Written in gibberish.
No, it's not in, well, actually.
That looks like Cyrillic.
I was going to tell you, read the ingredients on the back, because you can't. They are also in Cyrillic. I got this from that European grocery in Norman. It's Lavare Strawberry Marshmallow. Green tea.
When you put that in the cup and poured water on it, I instantly could smell the strawberry or berry smell. It was nice.
I bought it because it has been very, very hot here still. And I was like, I need something that's kind of summery, light. I'm not ready to jump into the cinnamon flavors and the clove flavors yet.
Sure.
But today I almost wish I'd brought cinnamon tea. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. Lavare Strawberry Marshmallow. I haven't tasted it yet. It's too hot.
And I know we've gone through the whole song and dance with your cup, but for our listeners, could you describe
my new gear?
Your new gear.
My new tea gear. I bought this cup at Target. It's a glass cup, and it's got a glass
strainer bowl.
Steeper?
Bowl.
Yeah, it's got a glass steeping compartment that's removable, and it's very exciting and fun. I've never had anything like it where you can just like steep in the cup and the steeper is part of of the cup.
And it's all dishwasher safe.
And it's all dishwasher safe.
Except probably that lid, which is wood.
Oh,
Y'all hear
you
that?
know what that means.
Saturday
We've
in
been through this.
Oklahoma City. So those sirens you're hearing, that's not real life. That's
that's
here.
Yes,
the
it's
lunch
noon
bell.
on Saturday. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I'm very excited about my new cup, too. We'll see how it goes.
It looks great.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It looks
you can
great.
see through the strainer and everything, so you can see all those leaves just like open
Opening,
up and spread out.
If you had little flowers in there, they'd be budding
I
right
feel
now.
so fancy. This tea does have little purple flowers in it, but you can't really see them.
Dude,
What?
I'm sitting here listening to both of y'all. Let's tell the truth about this cup.
Okay, tell the
my
truth about
God.
the cup.
Tell me about it. What?
Y'all, are
What
you
do we do?
serious?
What's wrong with it?
Oh my god. Listen, guys.
Uh-huh.
She brought this cup in here. And she was telling us that, about it just like she told you. And it's really cool. And visually it's really cool. Mm-hmm. But the more we sat there, she was like, wait a minute. How am I going to get that out without burning my fingers? Where am I going to set this thing? Listen, as we got further in the process,
We've decided it's
y'all.
garbage.
It's crap.
It's not crazy. No.
It sure looks nice, though.
It's visually great.
Okay, here's the problem with it is that when I bought the cup, I should have also bought some sort of small bowl to set the steeper in when my tea is done steeping.
You don't
That's
already
it.
have like a saucer, though? Surely you have a saucer at home you can just set it on.
I know, but no, because it's the problem with the steeper is it's completely round.
Rounded, mhm.
So if I set it down on anything remotely flat, it's just gonna roll over and all that tea is gonna fall out of it. Dustin.
Yeah. So here's the truth. Truth's coming out.
I think really what it comes down to is just the process of brewing tea is just too complicated. No one should do it. Is that not the takeaway? Sorry.
Wow.
Shall we talk about your stuffing your pipe bowl and tamping the thing and it goes out over and over again? You gotta light it again.
Only for the
Can't
inexperienced.
Get it too tight or it won't light or la 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 la.
You have to know what you're doing, unlike just dumping some leaves and pouring some water over it.
How'd that show up on the audio?
Redlined right over here. I'm editing all that. I'm teasing,
Guys, we're
of
in a good
course.
mood today, can you tell? We're all feeling sassy.
Well, what are you?
Yeah, speaking of
What
pipes.
are you? Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. You were talking about I'm not ready for the fall stuff yet. I am ready for fall. I'm ready, and it has been rainy and overcast. It's felt like fall. It's looked like mid-October the last couple of days.
It's fall, y'all.
It's fall, y'all. And so I am trying to keep that mood going with my Cornell and Deal's Autumn Evening over here. Smells strongly of maple.
It smells great.
And while the tornado sirens at noon take us out of the autumn feeling,
Why?
because it's noon on Saturday
Yeah.
and the sun's out, but we can pretend, right, that it's some autumn evening, and we're going to talk about spooky stories.
Oh, here we go, folks. You
We're-
can't see, but we'll give you a play-by-play.
Dustin, let's
She
hear it.
has the straining bowl out of the cup. It has not burned her fingers.
No, it hasn't,
So,
so
we
that's
are
good.
wrong on that.
We were looking for problems when they didn't even exist.
Here's our first problem. The transfer to another mug.
And it made it.
Okay,
with
guys,
no
all you
spills. That was
you
good.
need is 2 mugs instead of 1, and you're good to go.
They didn't have enough room in that box to put a saucer.
Yeah, some little
Like
container.
a little bowl saucer.
and something you're
Like,
going
it
to
doesn't
have
even
to
have to be a bowl, just like a little curvature to where actually that thing can sit
yeah,
in,
yeah.
like a little egg.
Yeah.
In
You were right at first. If this lid had a indentation in the underside of it,
and then you patent that design, and you go after that company. And you take them out of business.
this company is Chip and Joanna Gaines. I don't think I have the chops to go after Chip and Joanna Gaines.
I think all it takes is a power tool.
I mean, how
and
many
you
people
already are
listen to
ahead
their
of them.
podcast?
Maybe we shouldn't talk about Chip and Joanna Gaines so much. They might sue us.
Really? We're only saying good things about their product.
That's true.
Yeah.
Y'all, that tea's really good.
Is it?
I've
Do
never
they grow a lot of tea in Russia, former Soviet Union places over there?
Do they grow a lot? I don't know.
All
They
tea
drink
comes
it a
from
lot.
China,
I mean, it's
right?
just all like, you know, Europe loves tea and it's right next door. They're not big coffee people, so it's their main source of caffeine.
Are you confident making that generalization?
That they're not big coffee people?
Yeah, that's how they get most of their caffeine.
Oh, no, I'm not. But I know that I feel confident in the generalization that coffee is much less popular there because for many, 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 many years, they couldn't get it.
Because coffee's from South America.
Yeah.
So it would be a delicacy? Or they just don't want it?
Many people there have not developed a taste for it the way that they have tea.
So, and this is going to display some of my ignorance probably, but during World War II, the American GIs were over there hitting cafes and stuff like that, and they were asking for a coffee, but all they had were these little espresso shots. And Americans were like, give me a mug of coffee. Like, I'm not looking for a shot of coffee. Like, give me coffee. So they've got the Americano, which is just espresso
a bunch
coffee
of water.
with water. Yeah.
Watered down espresso.
Right. The things we enjoy as a culture sometimes has to do with where you live. For real, though,
Well, it is season 2.
it's spooky season. So let's talk about some spooky stuff. We thought it would be fun to talk about things like Headless Horseman, Sleepy Hollow, Washington Irving, early America, and of course fairies and all the other things that those stories are probably based on.
We have stuff that's going to blow your head off.
Ah! Take your head right off.
Just take your head right off.
Yeah, everyone, hold on to your head.
We're riding in.
Are we ready to go through the smoke?
Yes, let's go through the
Let's
smoke.
go through the smoke.
Here we go.
Okie dokie. What should we start with? Pop culture stuff?
I think that would be the best.
When I think of Sleepy Hollow, of course, I think of Ichabod Crane. Disney's 2-part cartoon series where the first part is Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, yeah.
And the second part is Ichabod Crane is what the spine of the book says. But, of course, it's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. Narrated and sung by Bing Crosby.
Yep.
If you haven't seen the cartoon, I recommend it.
It's great.
It's real good.
I watch it every year. But it's Disney, so, you know, Dustin.
But it's old Disney.
Never seen it.
1949. Are you serious?
He's like, is it on Disney Plus? I want nothing to do with it.
Actually, no, I think I have seen it.
I bet you have.
I just don't want to admit to it.
I remember seeing it in school, I think. It was watched.
It's probably where I saw the tube.
Yeah.
Where it was forced.
Yeah, you were forced to watch it.
I'm like that little robot chicken. They like
Yeah.
clamp my eyes like this.
It's alive.
And they're like, you watch all these Disney movies.
It's interesting that you went with Robot Chicken and not A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I was confused.
Well, I've seen that movie, but that's been a long time.
Well, so the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Disney version, is that what the Disney version is called? The animated one? Or is it just
I thought
called
it was Ichabod
just
something.
Ichabod Crane?
If you are to purchase or stream it now, it's The Adventures of Mr. Toad and Ichabod Crane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you were closer than I was.
But early Disney did this thing where it's like you start in a library, you know, and you go over and you pull the book off the shelf, and then you open the book up, and then as you're reading the first few lines, you enter the story. The animation starts. Instead of saying The Legend of Sleepy Hollow on the spine of the book, it says Ichabod Crane.
That's so interesting.
And I can't imagine that a story from the 1800s, like they didn't want to pay Washington Irving's estate for the title, or I don't
I'm
know.
looking at that right now because I got curious about the same thing. And it looks like the short itself is actually called The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But in combination.
Oh, with the double feature. I see.
And probably that has a lot to do with just them wanting that similarity.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be my guess.
Who knows the choices they make? A lot of the things in that cartoon, what Bing Crosby is saying is directly from the short story. The short story is great. It is just charming and wonderful. It kind of captures that New England feeling. That area had a lot of Dutch settlers. And so this legend of Sleepy Hollow is based on likely legends that were brought over from that area.
I wasn't really focusing too much on the Washington Irving story because I knew you were kind of tackling that.
Oh, yeah.
But they think it's based off of, I'm going to say it wrong.
Hessian soldiers.
And there was something I came across where more than likely he got his inspiration for that short story from his parents, because it was something about the region they were from, and that those stories are heavy over there. Not the Headless Horseman, but the Hessian in that writing.
And if you want to talk about the history of Hessian soldiers in America, like they were hired by the British to keep the colonies in line pre-revolution. You hear a lot of legends and stories, but Hessian soldiers are good soldiers, I guess. They're what you're looking for. So like mercenaries.
I was going to ask if mercenary is a word you might use to describe.
In the short story, it does mention that it's a Hessian soldier who lost his head in a battle. Cannonball took his head off.
Which, reading other stories, I guess that was more common than not. Like, in reality, not to deal with Headless Horseman stories, but cannonballs taking heads off.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, it's one of those things, you hurl this heavy thing as fast as far as you can, and gravity's helping you out. And
go through whatever it hits.
Yeah.
So.
Probably not very precise, but yeah, you never know when you're going to get hit by a heavy ball falling out of the sky.
Yeah, it's true.
It's wild. And of course, he wasn't driving a car, it's horses.
Not to totally derail you, but we should at some point talk about headless carriages as well, because it's not just headless riders on horseback. Sometimes the horses don't have heads.
Yeah.
Dustin brought that up, and I had not heard that. So.
Well, and the Phantom Carriage, which is a movie that you guys have talked about on the show before.
We don't want to go down that road again, Sarah.
I'm so sorry.
We messed it up last time.
Something we got wrong.
No, but it was the start of things we got wrong last time, which I think is makes it a pivotal and key part of our podcast history.
Yeah,
absolutely it is.
The birth of the segment. That's the same. That movie is, I would say, part of the same genre.
Sure.
I guess. Or themes.
Yeah.
Same themes.
In the short story, there is a little church, and that's where the Headless Horseman is said to start his ride, at the church. So there is a bridge mentioned, but I want to say that in a lot of the stories, like if you just get to the other side of the bridge, you're safe. And we've talked about that. Bridges, liminal spaces, any liminal space, the traveling between one area that's not like the other area,
There's also belief that, and I'll have to do my research. I think it's Irish belief that certain ferries can't cross water. And so that's the other thing. You make it across the bridge, the ferry can't. And we'll talk about this, but the legend of Sleepy Hollow, Irving created this story out of a fairy myth about a headless horseman. So anyway, I think that's part of it too. That supernatural things can't cross water. So you get across the bridge, you're safe because it can't cross the water.
Cool. Water has powerful symbology, cleansing, cleaning, all of that.
Yeah.
And religious value as well. You use water for a lot of rituals in religion. So, water's your friend. Water rights are important.
But don't go in the water. Because that's not what we're intended to be.
That's right. Don't go in the water. Yeah. Humans are not supposed to be there.
That's what Tyler says.
I disagree with Tyler. Often. Are you drinking tea?
Yeah.
That's my bag.
I'm steeping it
steeping it.
Steeping it right now.
What you steeping over there?
Some Gold Peak's finest.
Oh yeah. Now, was that pre-refrigerated, or are you dumping it over ice there?
I'm dumping it over ice.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way to do it.
Keeping it natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's
I
a
like
process.
my
I like
iced
the
tea
process.
watery, personally.
Do you?
Yeah.
You like that light, that little hint of
Yeah.
the tea, not the...
Yeah.
I like my my sugar with a hint of tea.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
We know.
Do you remember when we always used to point out that Sweet and Low had that disclaimer on the packet that says, this has caused cancer in laboratory animals?
Yeah.
Do you remember your response to that?
I don't remember exactly how it went.
You would point at that and say, laboratory animals. I am a person.
That makes sense. Yep. Anything to get away with bad habits.
No, I love it.
I remember we would be in the not to go like off the rails here, but I remember that we would remember they had tea and Sweet and Low and stuff in middle school. At lunchtime. We would always go over there and get tea, and I would like load like Sweet and Low in the thing. And I remember one of the coaches walking by one time was like, "It's like, hey Dustin, you want some tea with your sugar there?" I just thought that was funny.
My tea's got to be syrupy.
Didn't mean to get us off track here.
That's what we do here.
That's what we do. That's
We just kind of wander all
This
over
is the
place. It's
conversational
great.
part of the podcast. Okay, what else do I have to say? Let me reference my notes.
Well, while he's referencing notes, can I just throw some facts about Sleepy Hollow out?
Yeah, throw some facts out.
Sarah,
Yes, sir.
I've already told this to Tyler, and now I'm telling it to you and all the folks at home.
Oh, that's great.
Did you know that there's a high school named Sleepy Hollow in Westchester County of New York? And their mascot is the Headless Horseman.
That's cool. I wish that
Wouldn't
was
that
my
be
high
awesome,
school
dude?
mascot.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is so cool.
There's a school here in Oklahoma, and their mascot is the Demons. And I thought, that would be so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
There's also a school here in Oklahoma, and their mascot is a pug.
Really?
That would be awesome, too.
For real.
That's pretty cool.
What Kingfisher's mascot is the Yellow Jackets.
We were a bunch of bees, dude.
Yellow Jackets are different than bees.
Oh, listen.
Both are cool.
Everybody,
No, bees
I
are
bet
cool.
you
Yellow
every
jackets suck.
there's probably one school in every state that has the same logo.
Of course. I mean, we're talking about sports here. Nobody actually cares about that.
Well, I mean, some of us do, but you know,
Nobody important. What was your What was your school's mascot, Sarah?
Paoli is no, that's not my school's mascot.
Oh.
Paoli is the pugs, the Paoli pugs.
Okay.
I couldn't remember. I had to look it up. It's so cute. Their mascot is so cute. Look at this. Come on.
do they have a real pug?
Is that not so cute?
That is cool, but do they have a real pug that comes to
probably.
games? Probably.
I mean, imagine. My school mascot's boring. We were the Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel you.
Not very exciting.
I mean, ours is just about as common as yours. So.
yeah.
Um.
Oh, Doug the pug.
Okay.
Their actual pug mascot. This has nothing to do with
Sleepy Hollow.
Headless Horseman.
Nope. Okay. More facts, Dustin.
But it's real cute.
There was that one I thought was really cool, which I mean, I don't know why I'm surprised by it so much, but the town Sleepy Hollow in New York, you can still visit some of the locations referenced in the short story.
Okay.
There are several like street names and stuff, and then a lot of places have straight up Headless Horseman festivals.
Sure.
And one of them sounded really cool. Like, I guess every year they do this big hayride in this corn maze. And the whole time you're being chased by a headless horseman. So a guy on this horse is like straight up chasing you the whole time.
Awesome.
And there's a state park, Sleepy Hollow State Park in Langsburg, Michigan. The original schoolhouse in Kinderhook, New York. It's owned by the Columbia County Historical Society. And it is called the Ichabod Crane Schoolhouse. And then there is the Ichabod Crane Central School District. So anyways, that was some stuff that
That's so interesting that
came
so
across.
many, it's related to so many schools of all things.
Well,
like,
he is the school teacher. You know, that Ichabod comes into
I
town.
mean, I guess that's true. No, that makes sense. That does make sense.
He is, and this is one of those things, like just talking about the story from, if you're not familiar with the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, Ichabod Crane, it talks a lot about his description, and I think that the cartoon captures perfectly the actual description given in the short story, because it talks about how weird, how tall and lanky he is, and then his feet look like shovels and doesn't really have a forehead. His hat just kind of sits up there, and he is the outsider. You know, he is the educated person who is coming into the town. He relies for room and board on the townspeople, and he's going to educate their children. You know, I say town, it's village or whatever it is. This is early America. This is one of the first American short stories. This and Rip Van Winkle, another Washington Irving.
Well, I also think that's why a lot of schools and educational systems are using that as well as Washington Irving, because he's one of the first.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a Irving Middle School in Norman. So that I get, and I get now that you made me think harder about Ichabod Crane being a teacher, it does make more sense that it would be schools.
So Ichabod Crane comes into town. He's unmarried. He enjoys food. That's true in the story. That's true in the cartoon. He is eating all the time, and he wants to hang out with the women who are the best cooks. His love interest, Van Tassel, she is appealing because she is young and beautiful, but also her father owns the most land in the area, and there's always plentiful amounts of food. When Ichabod is at the parties and looking at all this, he's like, I could do this. I could run all this. I should marry this person. He is rejected. Van Tassel rejects his advances. And that's at the big party where all of these scary stories are being told. And there's the story of the headless Hessian who lost his head in a battle, and now he roams the countryside looking for heads.
Are the Van Tassels Dutch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Dutch stories.
I'm just thinking like Ichabod Crane is coming into this Dutch community.
Mm-hmm.
Crane's background is not Dutch. He is the intellectual, seen as a threat to their way of life.
Of course, yeah. He's the outsider. Mm-hmm.
And yet, the Hessian is the one... I'm jumping ahead in the story, guys. Sorry.
It's all right. That's all right.
But the Hessian is who is sent, I'm using air quotes, to rid the town of this non-Dutch... I don't know if you'd call him American, British...
And that's the weird. Everybody's got an accent at this time because I mean.
Yeah. So who does he I don't know what nationality that Crane represents, right? But presumably not Dutch. So it's interesting that the Hessian is the one that runs him out of town, a mercenary, right? Like I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I'm only coming up with this now, but it is. Things are clicking into place that sort of never clicked into place before about this story.
Yeah. It's interesting to think about some of this stuff, too, because I've got a quote here from the story, because it's talking about haunted places and things like that. And in our discussions, we've talked about how these stories endure, and it's kind of tied to the location. Well, here, this quote from Sleepy Hollow. There is no encouragement for ghosts in most of our villages, for they have scarcely had time to finish their first nap and turn themselves in their grave before their surviving friends have traveled away from the neighborhood, so that when they turn out at night to walk the rounds, they have no acquaintance left to call upon. This is perhaps the reason why we seldom hear of ghosts except in our long-established Dutch communities.
Interesting.
So there's no one around to remember the people that were buried there anyway, so why would the ghosts bother to come out and see their old friends?
Wow.
Interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Very.
And it kind of, it talks about settling a new we're in a new area where it's wilderness. Things are hard. If the town doesn't succeed, it fails, and you go off and do something different, or you become a hermit in the woods, and then when the next town shows up, they are very distrustful of you because you've lived by yourself in the woods.
Well, and if the town doesn't succeed, it's probably because they've picked the wrong environment to exist in.
Can't grow anything.
So it only makes sense to pick up and move somewhere where you make more of a living off the land at that time period.
And Ichabod Crane is carrying around The History of New England Witchcraft by Cotton Mather. This is never brought up in the Disney version.
Lots of things are not brought up in the Disney version.
Cotton Mather and his father, Increase Mather, they were... you talk about the forming of America, you were talking about... I would use the word crazy religious ideas. I mean, the religious weirdos that were kicked out of their home places coming over to where they can do whatever they want, you know. So religion gets, it's a fun, exciting time in New York, you know. Fox Sisters, much later, but still, it's that area of the country.
When was it written?
I think it is set in the mid 1700s, but it was written in 1820.
Okay. Yeah. So that's young.
Okay, so if he's got Cotton Mather's book, then he is Puritan, Church of England. The Dutch, many of them were Quakers, but it's not all Quakers. What religious faith are they coming from? Because that's the first thing I always think of when there's like a threat from the outside is like, are they coming to convert us?
What worldview? Yeah.
Right.
With Cotton Mather's stuff, I mean, we're talking about the witch trials. We're talking about mass hysteria of burning your neighbors and hanging your neighbors because somebody's a witch, you know, because you got a cold sore and that's from your neighbor. They got to be hung or whatever. You know, I mean, what a wild time. But the story is set up where Ichabod Crane is carrying around History of New England Witchcraft. And in reality, if you were going to look for that book today, that book is actually called Wonders of the Invisible World. And it was published in 1693. The subtitle is Observations, as well historical as theological, upon the nature, the number, and the operations of the devils. And Cotton Mather's, while he wasn't directly involved in the persecution, he really gave the vocal argument for witchcraft is real and it should be dealt with. Ichabod Crane, carrying that book around, the supposition is he believes all of the supernatural stuff. And when he is rejected by his love interest, he takes that as his opportunity to skip town. But also, what if the Headless Horseman got him? You know.
They were Calvinists primarily.
Calvinists.
Which is, I don't know how relevant this is to the discussion at hand, but I think the main distinction between Protestants and Calvinists is that Calvinists have a strong sense of predestination. And so good people who are going to go to heaven, that will be in their nature to behave good.
I see.
And Puritanism.
You said Protestant earlier.
I did.
You meant
and
Puritan.
I meant Puritan. I'm very sorry. They're all Protestant.
You're right, yeah. If they're not Catholic, they're Protestant.
They're all Protestant. But Puritans were very big into like trying not to be bad, right? And so there is a conflict there between those two faiths.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing is that from what I've gleaned, those Dutch communities were just so much more like open-minded about everything, like lots of different faiths. Much of it practiced sort of unofficially, right? Like they're not these big churches, but there's a whole lot of like, don't worry about what your neighbor is doing, which is so opposite of what the Puritans were about.
Right.
So I can see why that would be seen as like a threat.
It's very interesting considering social aspects of these stories that you grew up with. But what does it mean?
Right, yeah. That's what we're always talking about. Is like, what is the purpose of this stuff? Like, why do we need this? Why do we create this? Are we trying to teach a lesson?
The story is charming. If you haven't read it, I really encourage anybody to read it.
It is. You don't have to think this hard about it to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
Right, Dustin?
I'm over here like, I think I've talked about this in the past, where I'm like, this is where I'm at the surface, and you guys are way down here. And I'm like, guys, this is just a cartoon from Disney. Like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. No, I'm kidding. No, it is cool. Yeah, you don't have to read the short story and go in that depth. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, Cotton Mather, he was a believer. He's often considered America's first evangelical. A busybody who wants to tell you your business. And he's right, because he's got the Lord on his side, from his perspective, of course. It's also a weird thing, because this line of thought that Cotton Mather was in, there's this other fella, Joseph Glanville, and he's an English natural philosopher. Now, we're talking about pre-American times, so we are still, America's the English colonies, you know. Now, that's why the Hessians are around keeping the colonies in line, because it's still under British rule. But this natural philosopher from England, he talks about the denial of ghosts being heresy. If you deny the existence of ghosts, then you are also denying God and angels.
Interesting.
So it's like, if you believe in God, you have to believe in ghosts. Otherwise, you are denying demons. You are denying the literal reality of all of this stuff that we can observe around us.
So it's like, kind of like it's all supernatural, and
right. It is a supernatural perspective. Yeah.
Fascinating.
It's very interesting. And I'm sure we could do a deep dive, but we're talking about one of the first American short stories. So
Yeah.
It's spooky season. But this is just from my perspective. Early America, the English colonies, like I said, all of the weirdos got kicked out of their homelands to come over here and try it better. And so it's just such an exciting time where you get to try out whatever it is, because your neighbors are doing some weird stuff, but that's okay, because you are too. You're all just a bunch of weirdos over here. So that's what's so interesting to me about early America. And also why there's such a rich occult history, especially in New England. And just speaking about place, a lot of the early stories, of course, that's where the colonies were, that's where the population was, but that's where these stories are coming out of, this bewitched place, you know. It's wilderness.
This is a theme that comes up a lot. Ghost Rider, Headless Horseman, Headless Carriage. A lot of these things are like harbingers of death, which then we're back into fetches again, you know. It's just interesting how this theme kind of shows up so many different places. It's neat.
It's neat.
I sort of looked into connections between this and fairies. And the one that came up, and I know, Dustin, you looked at this too, the Dullahan. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong.
But we were having that discussion before you got here as well.
What was I saying?
Dullahan.
The Dullahan? Dullahan.
Dullahan. I think it's Dullahan.
Probably Dullahan.
I think it's Dullahan. But yes, what did you learn about the Dullahan?
He just reads the headlines.
That it was, I just read the headlines. It's part of Irish folklore, and it is a headless demonic fairy. Is the description I got off Wikipedia. And they either ride a horse or a black carriage. Yeah. Let's see here.
Dullahan is a unseelie, which is what they typically think of as being the evil fairies. Although good and evil are so... I have a problem with describing fairies as demonic, because that's something different. You're trying to categorize. Fairies are their own thing, and it's neither good nor bad. It's just fairies. That's my faith.
Right.
For real. I mean, that's kind of the way that I think about it. Like my faith is that they are neither good nor evil. There may be some that are more interested in themselves and their own self-interest, and they're more insular. And in that insularity, they don't have as much compassion for humans as some that are very interested in humans, but still only as curiosities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, it's like pets. You don't want to hurt your pets. Versus seeing themselves as completely separate from that and not really caring what happens to the bug they step on.
Sure.
Right? That's all Sarah's deep dive into stuff. There are courts. There are fairy courts.
Sure.
The Unseelie court is considered to be more evil.
Okay.
She said, rolling her eyes.
Sure.
And so that's the Dullahan. He's one of those sort of evil ones.
Listen, I just want to apologize I didn't mean to offend anybody. But in reality, this is Wikipedia's fault.
Oh, that you said demon?
It came from Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah,
that was their
Wikipedia's-
description,
No,
not
that-
mine.
Anybody can write on Wikipedia. So
Listen, those are hard facts.
Well, and there are people who believe that
Sure.
fairies are demons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not...
when your religious movement comes in and it's like, oh, there's already a faith here. How do we deal with that? That's all bad.
Right.
Those are demons. This is the good one. This is my fairy. You should follow him. Whatever it is. Her.
This is my fairy is perfect.
Yeah.
I hear that the 10th Conjuring is going to be about the Doulahan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wikipedia told me. That's a joke, by the way.
No, I love it.
I would say I thought the last Conjuring was the last one.
The one that just come out.
Last Rites.
Everybody keeps talking about it. Say it's a good one.
It's not going to be the last one,
I
though.
only saw the first two. And I'm a big James Wan fan, and that's kind of what started it. I like Ed and Lorraine Warren.
You know my favorite James
I
Wan
just fell
movie?
off.
Tokyo Drift. I'm kidding. I just say that because I know you hate it.
So, well, let's not go down that. I was just saying. I was just
This is not a
making it funny.
not pop culture
Yeah.
podcast. But
Can I read you a description of what the Headless Horseman looks like in Irish
yes.
tradition?
Oh,
Please.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, first of all, one of the things that's key for the Irish version, which I think is probably fairly consistent through all of them. Well, no, maybe not. This is different than Sleepy Hollow. In the Irish tradition, he's always carrying his head. He has his head with him.
okay.
Yep.
Or her, and we'll get to the hers.
Okay.
Because they're hers too. But the description is always grotesque. The head is grotesque. It's not like, my regular head, like hanging in my hand.
Everything was
with the
cut off
hair on
cleanly
it,
and there's
yeah.
makeup and
Yeah, so there's a guy named Croker telling the Irish story, the title of which is The Headless Horseman. So here's his description of the head that the Headless Horseman is carrying. Such a head no mortal ever saw before. It looked like a large cream cheese hung round with black puddings. No speck of color enlivened the ashy paleness of the depressed features. The skin lay stretched over the unearthly surface, almost like the parchment head of a drum. Two fiery eyes of prodigious circumference, with a strange and irregular motion, flashed like meteors. And that fiery eyes thing is consistent through a lot of the stories, too.
in the head there are fiery eyes
And they're big.
and they're big.
Great big fiery eyes.
All I say is don't get in a rap battle with that guy.
You think?
He'll dish you down. That guy was descriptive.
Yeah. You're talking about Croker, the guy that
Yeah.
wrote it. Yep.
Is he a fairy hunter?
The guy, Croker? Mm-hmm. I don't know why all of a sudden I cannot find my notes on this particular dude.
Did you guys ever watch Fairly Odd Parents? Nickelodeon cartoon.
Thomas Crofton Croker. Yes, Fairly Odd Parents. Yes.
But I think the teacher who was obsessed with capturing fairies, he knew they were real. His name was Krieger, I think. But you saying Kroger made me think of Krieger. Like, is he a fairy hunter? Is he...
So it's Croker, like a croaking frog.
Oh, okay.
He wrote a book called Fairy Legends and Traditions of the South of Ireland back in the early 1800s. And theoretically, it's an anthology that he collected from the oral traditions of different communities. There's some debate about whether that's actually
manufactured them,
true
yeah.
because his notes, lost my notes kind of
yeah.
stuff. But that's the idea.
You know what's funny? She literally just did the same thing. She's like, why can't I find my notes?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
don't-
lost my
I lost my
notes
notes.
about this guy.
And
It's
so everything I'm
true.
saying is true. You have to believe
Yeah,
me.
you just gotta believe me.
We don't ask for much, just your belief.
So now, I want to tell you about, if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you about a female Dullahan. Dullahan? Is that what you decided?
Doulahan.
Dullahan, thank you.
It's probably, whatever we do, it's going to be wrong.
No, Dullahan sounds right to me, based on
sounds weird.
Irish
this is not related to our
Phonies.
podcast, but have you heard of the audiobook publisher? They publish a lot of new agey stuff about Atlantis and healing and things like that. But the name of their company for their audiobooks is called Sounds True. And I just think that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
Good enough for me. Sounds true.
Sounds true.
Yep.
Sounds good. So, I love that description of the horrifying, scary head.
Do you think black puddings are
Black puddings are
Blood puddings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
They're what?
blood puddings? And so it's like, you don't want to waste anything because, like, this is your animal that you slaughtered.
Oh,
and
so
stuff.
that's what you think that is? What he's talking about?
Black puddings, which I
okay.
think, sometimes if you're hungry, you just kind of eat food, whatever it is, right? It's not like delicious or anything. It's
Yeah.
just calories.
It's a really gross description.
Yeah.
So gross.
Very descriptive.
Oh, and this other guy.
But the females, obviously, they are attractive, right?
No.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. They're headless. How can you tell?
A lot of money on makeup, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
This is a story called The Good Woman. So this guy is driving home at the end of a night. There's been a big fair and dancing and stuff like that. And he sees a woman walking along the side of the road. So he stops and offers her a ride, and she accepts. And
We're saying driving a car or...
no,
This is
coach.
a carriage.
This is
Okay.
this
Okay.
is 1828.
Okay.
And this is the same guy, this croaker who's
Oh, okay.
maybe
Sorry,
making this
everyone.
stuff up. No, I did not specify. It's on me. Fair question. So he picks her up, and drives her home. And at the end of the ride, he grabs her to get a kiss as payment. You know, I did this
Ew.
nice thing.
Awfully presumptuous.
I did this
Wow.
nice thing for you. Now you owe me something.
Sounds
And-
like a porn.
Transactional.
And so he grabs her, and it's unclear from the story whether her head disappears when he grabs her, or she had been wearing a big hat and there was never a head visible, like a bonnet, and there was never a head in the first place. Unknown.
Yeah.
When you
But
said
when
that,
he-
all I thought was Carmen Sandiego with that huge
Like, it's a
hat.
big red hat. But anyway, he grabs her to kiss her and discovers there's no head there and loses consciousness. And then when he wakes up, he's in a church with a Catherine. Do you guys know what a Catherine wheel is?
Of course, Dustin and I know what Catherine wheels
no,
are,
well,
but describe it to our audience.
It's true, the audience probably doesn't know. I don't want to describe it. Is why I didn't
I
ask.
I don't. Do you know?
Yeah, so it's
I don't know.
it's a torture device. It is
Okay.
a torture device.
Okay.
And the way that the torture device works, trigger warning for people who don't like to think about torture, is it's this big, giant, heavy, it looks like a wagon wheel, but it's huge. And you have to, lift it with both hands. And you literally take the wheel and just tie a person down, smash it down on their body repeatedly until all their bones are basically broken and soft.
Sure.
And then you weave their body through the wheel and hang it up outside of town
Oh, wow.
to show everybody this is what happens to you if you're bad in our town.
Oh, man.
So he wakes up in a church and sees a Catherine wheel covered in bodies with no heads. This is what you get if you be grabbing women
Sure.
out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
this
without their
story.
Yeah.
consent.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then
He's a
he
leg man
loses
now.
he loses consciousness again and wakes up at home, but he's learned a valuable lesson about grabbing ladies. So yes, they can be ladies too.
See, there's headless women stories in Welsh also. They
Yes.
called them like... I ain't even
In
gonna
Welsh?
try.
Oh, yeah, Welsh is
it's like
impossible.
someone, but
Where's Samhain come from? Is that That's Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that different than Welsh?
Yes. Welsh is wild.
they also
mean,
talked about horses being headless also with the women.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought
Yeah.
that was interesting.
So you've got a headless horse woman riding a horse, and also the horse doesn't have a head.
Right.
That's
Weird.
often the case with carriages too. when you have a
I think
Dual-hand
they are called
carriages?
something. Well, they're
or the carriages are something else, but it's the same thing.
you're right. It's the Doulahan. In my notes, it said
Okay,
they either
yeah.
rode a horse or drove a black carriage.
Yeah, and so lots of times the carriage doesn't. The horses don't have heads, as well as the driver. Nobody has heads. There's no heads.
Yeah.
And this is one of those things too. When we're coming up with these stories, like, how did we view the head of a person at that time? Like, I'm just saying from a modern perspective, that's where your soft meats are up there. You got a skull and everything in there is real fragile, and that's where your brain is, and your brain runs all this stuff. So it's the processing
So is
unit.
this life,
Right. Is the head
and this is
right? Yeah.
soul.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
So you're taking the life, and now you just have the soul or
or
emptiness,
yeah, well,
that empty vessel left.
I don't know how they viewed it. It'd be interesting to think about that.
Yeah.
But
That brings me to the ancient Celts, the root of Welsh, and that's sort of the combine where those two, Irish and Welsh, kind of come together.
okay,
They had head colts, and they were like
you're saying head colts, not head colds.
Because that's.
probably sometimes had
I
head
was
colts.
about to ask, because that is exactly what I heard was head colds, and I was like, Sarah,
The cult
do
of
better on your research.
the cold of the severed head is what they called it. The cold of the severed head.
It was so terrible.
They
People were
cut
just
their
pulling their
own
heads
heads
off.
But apparently, Celtic warriors were big into like beheading their enemies, and turned into a whole thing. And they used the heads of their enemies as drinking glasses and blah blah blah. And so my assumption is that there is a tie, sort of chronologically, from these head cults, not colds, cults, in the ancient Celtic religions, 1st century BC, that just carries over into the fairy lore. Because, fairy lore is actually more recent. The fairies used to be gods and then became fairies. How do these things develop, I guess, is what I think about a lot. How did head cults turn into Doulahan or the Welsh? Do you remember what the Welsh thing was? I know it's probably a lot
How's
of
it spelled?
consonants and very few vowels.
Man, the Finway Heb Unpin. It's like four words, dude. Like, And then the horse without a head is Kefle Heb Unpin. So Heb Unpin is without a head, is how I take it. And then the Kefle would be horse, and then Finway would be woman, probably, if I was going to break that down.
Pin is head.
Pin would be head, I would believe.
P-I-N?
P-E-N.
P-E-N.
So Heb-un would be probably without.
Sounds right.
Or Heb.
Sounds good.
Or Heb could
buy
be
it.
head, and then unpin is without. So kind of like Spanish where it goes backwards. So you go head without.
Well, backwards, depending on your perspective.
Well, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm teasing.
I know.
I'm teasing, of course. All we talk about is perspective.
I just googled Welsh headless woman.
Uh-huh.
What are they trying to sell you?
Nothing. I learned. I'm now as we speak on this
not makeup,
podcast,
I'll tell you that.
learning about. I'm going to butcher Welsh. Calan Gaef, Calangaeaf, which is a festival for the first day of winter in Wales, observed on November 1st.
Oh,
That's
wow.
some Halloween shit. Part of this celebration is everybody dances around a bonfire, and when the fire starts to die out, you have to run home before it completely goes out, or the headless woman ghost will get you.
Ah, okay.
And her name is Eladiwen. Y space Ladi space WEN.
So, Sarah, In your guest bathroom, you have a cross stitch that says, "Please leave by 9."
I do.
And do you think this is the old-timey version? Like, before the fire goes out, you all better be the hell home.
Yeah, this was people that didn't want to people too much, that had to. So they were like, "How are we gonna get rid of these people?" The Andersons always stick around so long.
Well, what's interesting is that apparently the dancing around the fire thing. Oh God, I'm just now realizing this. Now that you've said that, the dancing around the fire thing is for women and children.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it's funny.
I am a big believer in please leave by 9. I made that on purpose. It is in the powder room downstairs, which is the one that you will use if you are not spending the night at my house. The number of times people come out of that bathroom and go, Is that a joke? And I'm like,
Sarah's looking at her clock going,
I mean,
you got 15 minutes.
we can negotiate if you want, but that's gonna make us both uncomfortable. Like, it is there so we don't have to have this conversation.
Imagine sitting there peeing and looking over and reading that, and then you look down at your clock and it's like 8:59, and you're like, shit. And he's
bail.
yeah.
Well, I mean, what's gonna happen if you don't leave by 9? You're just gonna disappoint me.
Upset the host, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we don't want to do
I'm
that.
not gonna set you on fire or chase you out of the house and chop off your head.
That's what I'm getting at. And just think about all the effort it takes to set up the fire and to time it just right. It's like, everybody, y'all could have just done a cross stitch.
Right.
You know?
Hung that up. Oh, the things I learn while we are recording this podcast. Not in advance. I mean, I learned stuff in advance too, but that's great. This is so interesting, this festival, by the way.
Yeah,
Is it?
but
Yeah.
it's just for the women and children?
Not the whole festival, but the fire thing is.
Just for the women
run
and
home or the headless. The other thing that can chase you is a tailless black sow. I know we've already talked about what we're going to do for our next episode. You guys did Victorian Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like we should do ancient Halloween.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Do you
I'm
know
all
what I
about
mean?
that.
Yeah.
Like, because there's all kinds of cool stuff in this one Halloween festival that I did not know existed until today. Like stuff that they do, like clairvoyant stuff, things you can do to see the future and predict who's going to die
Sure.
this year, and it's great.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite jokes to make about Ouija boards. When you imagine people using a Ouija board, it's not people like Dustin and me. It's like teenage girls, giggling and laughing. And my go-to is always, am I going to get married? This ghost, provided we assume they are human beings, working so hard to make contact. And then it's just 13-year-old girls laughing around this board, wondering if they're going to get married.
And that's not even what ghosts are for, guys.
Yeah.
Ghosts are not for telling the future.
No.
That's a whole different branch of...
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the hazard you run into when you just come into a place and say, all of that's bad. And so now it's just bad category. It's not. These things had a reason throughout history.
Yeah.
We adhered to these for years until we changed our mind about it for some reason.
For some reason. Well, we kind of know
We
why.
kind of know why.
We're not going to talk about it, but we know
No,
why.
we won't. We'll talk about it like this in
If
hushed
you,
tones.
if you know, you know. And
Yeah.
if you don't, I don't want to be the one to tell you.
But yeah. Maybe
Right,
someday.
Dustin?
That's right.
It'll be behind a paywall.
Hey, speaking of which, do you guys know about cephalophores?
Cephalophores. That sounds
Isn't
like
that a
head.
Fun thing to say. Cephalophores.
Cephalophores.
Do you know what a cephalophore is?
Is it a head collector?
It is very specifically, a saint that holds its severed head in its hands.
Okay.
I learned about that.
It's like a Haunted Mansion then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's got it in a lantern or something.
Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Disney thing, Dustin.
Yeah, we're going to do a Haunted Mansion episode at some point, whether Dustin likes it or not.
That'll be-
because it's so influenced by spiritualism.
It really is.
I think you would enjoy
You
learning
guys
about
say
it.
that. But
You
I'm
should-
Like, are you kidding me?
you-
This is Disney.
If you ever get the chance to go to Disneyland or Disney World, I need you to take that opportunity just to see the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Because
I can tell you right now that's never going to happen. But
if someone
maybe I can watch some YouTube videos.
if
or
someone
something of the ride.
offers you to go to Disneyland or Disney World, you're going to say yes because you just need to see the Haunted Mansion.
I'm going to politely decline and tell them to save their money.
It is specifically saints,
Uh-huh.
and it's not just saints that are headless or saints that have been beheaded. In order to be a cephalophore, they actually have to be holding their own head.
In reality, this martyr has to be holding their head. Or
In imagery.
in imagery. Okay, I see.
Cephalophore describes the saint, but it is based on how they are depicted.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Where do you think, because saints have halos.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the halo go on a saint who is carrying their own severed head? This was like your question about shoes.
Oh, which I haven't brought up.
Yeah.
I haven't talked about that yet.
We can jump into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that's what made me think of
you
your
don't
shoe question.
you don't know the answer to this question.
The halo question?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't it be on his head?
In their hands?
Yeah, the head in their hands, but the halo on their head.
So not up here over their neck.
I guess it
So I am thinking about religious iconography, and when the halos are more like, here is the sun behind their
As
head.
opposed to a ring.
As opposed to
Yeah.
the ring you see in all the cartoons when somebody dies, there's that ring that pops up on top of the head. Yeah.
So you're voting for behind empty neck. Or not sure.
I am unsure. That's also I view that halo more as the life force. This is the projecting the life force of. It's all, and that's the thing with religious imagery.
It varies, and
Okay.
it's up to the artist.
Sure.
But I think it's an interesting question
Yeah.
for artists to be asking themselves. Like, I have to paint a saint.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I put the halo? They don't have a head on top of. And some artists have done both.
Hmm.
A halo, kind of like you're describing. That's what would you call
Just a
that?
backdrop?
Like a flat, sort of
Arch a
flat
backdrop, yeah.
behind them ish,
A disc behind. Yeah. Mhm.
as opposed to a round circle on top.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be on the back, and then also on the top of the head in the way we think about it with like cartoon angels. But yes, I thought as an artist that's an interesting challenge. And then I thought about your shoe thing.
Yeah. So that's Dustin. I know you have a lot of stories.
No, go on your stuff. We'll get to them.
Well, yeah. So the Ozarks have a lot of mythology in their hills, mountains. I didn't write that down anywhere, so I'm going off of memory here. But there's a headless cobbler, and the people think he was a miner, and we don't know how he lost his head, but he is often seen marching with a pair of shoes where his head should be. And my question to the group, which the podcast listener doesn't know, was if the shoes were on the guy's head, are the soles sticking up like he's got feet sprouting out of his neck and he's just wearing shoes on his feet out of his neck? Or is it, here's a shelf and I'm going to set these shoes on top where the head should be and their soles down, empty shoes? Is he wearing them, or are they just sitting there like a shelf? The headless cobbler in Arkansas.
I voted for soles down when you first posed this question, but I was like, I have to know more about this. Like, it was plaguing me.
Yeah. So did you look it up?
I did.
What'd you find?
It's actually a bundle of shoes. It's like imagine a bunch of shoes tied together by the shoelaces, and they kind of just dangle.
A rat king of shoes.
Yes, yeah, and they just kind of like dangle or hover or something. That's one version of that story. Of course, we know that it depends on who's telling the stories, and so many of them are from the oral tradition that is just whatever. But the version that I found that was the oldest written version that I could find that was what it was. It was like a bundle of shoes. A rat king of shoes is a great way to describe it.
Is there a reason behind the shoes? What's the shoes?
He's a cobbler, so he makes shoes.
Yeah.
Bet he doesn't have a hit. I don't know.
Interesting.
That's one of these things. Like sometimes they're just stories. You know, they don't have to make sense.
Like how you put that. Just, hey man.
No reason.
Sometimes they're stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Well, it's like ghost stories, right? Like, not all ghost stories are. We talk about them as sometimes being lessons, or warnings or whatever. But sometimes they're just for being scared because it feels kind of good to be scared in a safe way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
I had to look up why. If you look up the image of a headless horseman, just generic, most of them have a glowing pumpkin head or have it in their hands. And of course we know this is from Sleepy Hollow, but that's how much influence that story had on everybody that's just like that. But the stories I ran across, there ain't no pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no pumpkin.
It's involved. A blood pudding.
That one's probably the most descriptive that I've heard. Yeah, that was messed up. But I'll just throw that out there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Headless Oklahoma ghosts.
While we're diving into Oklahoma, I should have said this earlier when we were talking about Sleepy Hollow, but a little Oklahoma tie there is our
There's
own
a Sleepy
Will
Hollow
Rogers.
in Kingfisher.
Is there? What?
The RV park, Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, shut up. There is a lot of Sleepy Hollow RV places.
Yeah.
That's not the first one I've seen.
No, of course.
Yeah.
The Headless Ghost of Trosper Golf Course?
No, but tell us about that.
Lost his cool on the course.
Well, I haven't actually read about it. I just found it. It's a prom date car story. Yeah.
Ah. Well, Sarah, did you know Will Rogers?
Not personally.
Played Ichabod Crane
Oh, yeah?
in a 1922 silent film?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow.
It's a comedy, by the way.
Yeah, Tyler looked that up for me.
Headless Horseman roam in Oklahoma's past too.
I came up with the exact same article that Dustin
Well,
was
supposedly in this thing, like they just touched the surface here, but there's a road that passes Old Fort Jefferson Davis near Muskogee that has a story of a headless horseman. October 26th of 2015 by Mary Phillips. She kind of just touched base on some Oklahoma ties to a headless horseman. And then she talks about Will Rogers in the movie. The first one is of a headless Spaniard, perhaps an explorer. His remains were found in a cave near the Red River. It says that he would appear to women alone and scare them. But the cave was considered his headquarters. So they sent in a cowboy to find the headless horseman, and he was never seen again.
Awesome.
And so then they sent in a posse, and they went in as far as they could, but then they fled. That's kind of the story there. And there's been sightings of him. Then the other one, like I was saying, was around Old Fort Jefferson Davis near Muskogee Road. I guess he was a horseman that was shot one dark night. He was thought to be a spy. There wasn't a lot of information in this article for those, but
yeah,
I think they were just kind of tying it. But I will tell you this: there's an awesome story out of Texas.
Let's hear it. Let's hear the Texas
talk
story.
about that, or do you have more, Sarah?
More what?
Information.
I always have more information.
Oh, okay.
So let's tell them some stories.
Did you hear about the Texas Horseman?
El Muerto?
Yeah.
No, but I wanted you to.
You gave us the preview.
Oh, did I? Oh, okay.
It.
To set it up, during this time was right before the Battle of the Alamo. Like this was around the time of the Mexican War.
Okay.
But this is when there was a disagreement. Sure. The Mexicans believed that the border was up to the Nueces River. And then the U.S. thought the boundary to be to the Rio Grande. So the disagreement was there. Within those two rivers, there is like over 160 miles of land.
Yeah.
And they called that no man's land.
Because it's a border dispute.
Right. In between these two rivers is where your outlaws would run to and basically just camp out in this area.
Because if the law people aren't clear on what their jurisdiction is.
Right. So this area of land is lawless, basically.
Sure.
And during this time, this man named Vital and two guys come across these Mustangs. They steal these Mustangs. They stole from the wrong person, I would say, because the person that owned these Mustangs was a man named Creed Taylor. And Creed Taylor was a Texas Ranger. He had a ranch outside of San Antonio, and part of that ranch fell into no man's land. They had come in and stole the Mustangs, and then they run further into no man's land. Creed Taylor grabs his neighbor, and he also grabs his good friend, William Alexander Anderson Wallace, a.k.a. Bigfoot. This is what they called him. He was another Texas Ranger. And at the time, Texas Rangers were known to be, they were top of the top. So these three guys, Creed Taylor and Bigfoot and his neighbor, they take off to track the people that had stole the horses. At this time, stealing a horse was a bigger deal than murder. So if you were caught stealing a horse, that was the death penalty. Like, that's how valuable it was.
I would say it is the most valuable thing you could own. If you can afford one horse, and that's how you're plowing, that's how you're getting around, that's how you're doing all of your stuff. If you don't have a horse, you're not doing anything.
That's your livelihood.
And you may literally die.
You may literally, you don't have the tool you need to survive where you are.
So they run across where they're camping out, and they decide to wait for nightfall when they're asleep. And then they end up sneaking into the camp, killing the three men. And they also wanted to make an example to try to deter it from happening. A lot of times they would hang their bodies from trees.
Sure.
Do all kinds of gross things. It ended up being Vital's body, but they ended up taking his body, cutting his head off, and sitting his body on top of the horse in a riding position. And then they tied his head and sombrero to the side of the horse. And they sent the horse. Obviously, it probably wasn't one of their prize Mustangs, I guess. Yeah. But sent the horse off. And then they got their horses left. So for a while after, this horseman was seen riding around the no man's land. And there was tons of sightings. And from one of the articles I did read by Kathy Alexander, Legends of America, she states in her article, finally a posse of local ranchers captured the wild pony at a watering hole near the tiny community of Benbolt, just south of Alice, Texas. Still strapped firmly on its back was the dried up corpse of Vital, now riddled by scores of bullet holes and Indian arrows. The body was buried in an unmarked grave near Benbolt, and the horse was free of the body. So it's funny because, or not funny, but it's interesting. This thing has been seen by a lot of people, and people have tried to shoot.
Yeah. So you were seeing.
So you got bullet holes. Yeah. You have arrows from the Indians.
These people were seeing a
real headless horseman. Yeah, the head was known to be just dangling on the side. But it doesn't end there. So now he's buried. Mm-hmm. Well, there's still
sightings.
There's still sightings being recorded. And these sightings go all the way. There was one in 1917 from a family traveling in their covered wagon around San Diego, Texas. And that was interesting because this is from the same article. They camped outside the town. They would report the next day that as they sat by the campfire, a large gray stallion sped by with a headless man shouting, "It's mine, it's all mine." Then there was a sighting in 1969 near Freer, Texas. I also read it when he would gallop, the hooves would create lightning when it would hit the ground. So that's the story of the Texas Headless Horseman.
I like that the Texas story is like more plausible. I don't know.
This is a story that happened. The Texas Rangers did that. They strapped this body to the horse, and
but then it turned it like we get to see it actually turn into a ghost story, almost like in real time.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Because it really happened.
Yeah,
but it's the sightings after.
Yeah, of course.
How it turns.
1969. It was not the same guy,
right? I know. So it's pretty cool.
In Game of Thrones, it's not. I didn't watch past the first season, but in the books, there's this warrior that always wears this full suit of armor, and he's in battle all the time, and he feels the opposing forces with so much fear.
Yes,
but in the book, dude died. So they're just like putting his dead body on this horse and sending him out into the battle to scare the opposing forces. But at some point, like, he falls off and it's just this corpse.
And they're all like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Get along, little doggies. The old folk song. One verse of that song is, when I die, take my body, strap it to my horse, and then send him out to the west, and we'll ride the prairie that we know the best.
Oh, okay.
That is ringing a bell.
Yeah. That dude just wanted to ride his horse through the prairie for the rest of time. Strap my bones up there and send me out, and we'll be just fine.
As you were talking about El Muerto, I was kind of looking at some stuff about it. But I stumbled across the fact that Washington Irving's parents were from Cornwall. Which is culturally similar to Wales, meaning Celtic.
That's
origin.
That's what I read.
Okay.
You're reading what I read. I'm glad you found that, because that's kind of what I was trying to blurb out earlier. But
Yes, and so we're having this whole conversation about like, where did this story come from and why is it being brought in this community? He probably got it from the
stories,
Welsh version of the fairy, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Man.
Yeah.
Stories are great.
Yep.
I just love stories. I just love how they spread all around the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And get your own local flavor when they get to your place. Yeah.
That's right.
There was another Headless Horseman here in America. It's the Headless Horseman of Stone Rivers. But it was Colonel Julius Peter, Garesche.
It's very garish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on December 31st of 1862, him and another officer ran into an ambush.
Civil War, I guess.
And his head was shot off. And his horse, obviously the body and the horse took off. And it said it got about 20 yards before his body fell off. But since they were ambushed, they fled. And the guy that he was with was like one of his close friends. He told the other guys to keep riding, that the colonel was fine, but he knew he wasn't fine. But that was just, he was getting them to safety. And then he went back later to find his friend and found him. And I guess there's a plaque there now near the rail tracks. Headless Horseman has been known to be seen riding along the tracks. Like people on the train have seen him just riding along the train. So that was pretty interesting. His brother was a Catholic priest, and he predicted his death 15 months before that.
The Catholic priest predicted his brother's
death.
Huh.
Yep. He warned him and said that he believes that he will die. And it wasn't really like how, but just more of his death. He had a premonition that his brother was going to die in a battle 15 months from now. And it was roughly about 15 months, and then he died in that surprise ambush. We talked about the wild hunt.
Yes.
Before.
Yes.
During the Victorian Christmas thing.
And Sarah's really bummed she missed that. We need to talk more
The
about
Victorian
Get more
Christmas
wild
or the
hunts.
Wild Hunt?
the wild hunt stuff.
Well, there's a little tie to our subject
Yes.
today.
Of course, yeah.
There's in the Scandinavian folklore, their phantom riders are usually pitch black and on a pitch black horse, and they gallop around on the ground and in the air. And they are sometimes seen to be headless, and they are known to be the outcast from the wild hunt.
The ones who didn't make the main procession.
Didn't make the cut.
Dustin, are you ready to tell us this Scott story?
Yeah. So this story comes out of the 1500s. It's a Scottish tale. Ewan of Littlehead. Him and his clan are battling his father's clan, and he's out to kill his father. During the battle, he's decapitated. And for a period of time after his head is cut off, he still injured a few other enemies
he kept fighting,
in battle.
basically.
He kept fighting.
Even though his head was cut off, he's out there swinging his sword.
Still swinging a sword, yeah. So, before the battle, before the beheading,
Okay.
he had come across a banshee along a riverside.
And we're using banshee here because what he is seeing is a woman who is wailing next to the river.
Right. It says she's singing about the soldiers who have fallen. He comes across the banshee. He knows this is a bad omen. He comes up with this plan that he thinks will overcome the bad omen.
Yeah, he can undo his fate.
So he sneaks up on the banshee. I'm going to read this little short part from the article. It says, Ewan snuck up behind her while she is singing. Ewan took her breast in his mouth and suckled it like a baby. He told her that he is her firstborn. And then Ewan asked what was the outcome of the battle he would be in. And she replied, if tomorrow morning you are given butter with your porridge without asking, then you will be victorious. Ewan was angry at this answer and cursed the washerwoman. And it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
So and then
After all that trying to trick her.
Yeah. Don't
I know.
curse the people who have the power to grant you wishes. Like,
So-
what are you thinking?
Don't bite the
Right.
breast that feeds you.
So he...
Yeah.
I mean, right?
No,
of course.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Consent is
I will
important.
never think of it as hand again.
I've ruined you.
Oh, man. So that was kind of a premonition. That,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you messed up.
And so then what happened?
So
the
then
next
he goes.
morning?
So then he.
Did he get
so I
better?
didn't see.
I mean, clearly he was given porridge without
I
butter.
bet he was. He just doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
He is angry about it.
Yeah.
But he did seal his own fate when he cursed her.
Yeah.
So it says that his horse returned home and he was still attached. And so when his horse comes in, they think that it's the work of the devil.
Because he's still riding. He has no head.
He's still riding
he's
a
still
horse.
riding,
and he had still
I
fought.
guess.
Yeah. And so they actually beheaded his horse. And buried both of them. So, of course, this is where the ghost story begins. So now they're both headless. And they are seen still to ride around the Highlands. And they said that
Scottish
if you
Highlands.
see this headless horseman and horse, you will die soon.
You're a bad omen.
Now you're a bad omen.
That's pretty common with these headless horseman stories, that they are death omens. And, of course, the carriage, too, which we've talked about before as a death omen. Yeah.
It's eerie. I just kind of looked at this, but it's eerie because we didn't go into the family names of these clans that we're going about in the myth folklore story. It says that when a member of the Macalane, which was the clan that he was fighting against, it says when a member of the Macalane dies, the family can feel Ewan's presence and they hear the sound of the gallop coming. So I thought that's kind of eerie.
Tonight the horseman rides for you.
So
Scotland.
he pissed off
Yeah.
a banshee and essentially was conscripted to the wild hunt, is what it sounds like to me.
What I see it as,
Which is that's part of that version of the wild hunt. We'll get into this at some point. There are lots of different versions of the wild hunt. One of the more famous ones, actually Norse, not
That's the one I'm
Irish.
familiar with.
Yeah, but there is an Irish, Scottish, Celtic version, and it's typically comprised of humans who have been kidnapped, maybe killed, maybe not. Sometimes transformed or deformed, headless, or things like that. And then they become part of the Wild Hunt, which goes around hunting more humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like they want their
building their own clan
their
of the
group
dead.
to grow, exactly, to make them more powerful. So that, I'm wondering if there's some element of that in it too, that like he created his own fate in that story.
This is one of those things you're battling against. You encounter the deity.
Yeah.
And you bargained poorly.
Yeah.
But also, yet another story in this podcast, in this episode of this podcast, about be cool with women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't be a jerk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to what your dad says. And then don't suck a banshee's breast and spit out the milk.
Yeah.
Right, or just go randomly trying to get smooches out of women.
Yeah, and for the love of God, don't take butter in your porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't ask for it. It needs to be given. When you serve porridge, make sure you put butter
Be
in it.
grateful for your damn butter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what we learned today, guys.
that was
That's the moral. The moral of our podcast.
We all forget the Texas Headless Horseman.
Be nice to women and be grateful for your butter.
That's right.
And it's all fairies.
It's all fairies.
Yes. I knew that was coming.
Well, I think that really ties it up because we got the Headless Horseman, but the encounter with the fairy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've talked about this a million times, so I can't just say, oh, it's interesting, but
It's still interesting.
we've talked
Sure, of
about
course it is.
this. It's just popped in my head. When you take the American stories, like the Texas story or the Civil War story, and then you compare it to the Ewan story or the ones from different regions, it goes back to like America's not very old.
Yeah.
Our stories are
And
young.
so our stories are very young. And you take a story like the Texas Headless Horseman, and like we were saying, is like you see how it's built. It's a situation that really happened, and this guy's body really is riding around on a horse, and people are really seeing this thing. It's carrying on. People are still seeing it, so it's that kind of ghost tale. But it's just so constructed. Then you compare it to something from a different region where it's like, oh, there was this clan and this clan. It's just so elaborate, you know.
Yeah.
But the America is just like short and simple.
All of those other stories are feeding into our American stories. I mean, it's just like what we were talking about
True.
with Washington Irving. Like, his parents being from Cornwall, they're getting their Headless Horseman that he brings into an American story from ancient Celtic stuff, right? So they do transform. I think the other thing about American folklore is that the Americanized versions of this stuff, or even the stuff that is, and of course we are talking about like Europeans in America. We're not talking about Americans in the sense of the people who were here.
We're not talking
before
about
us.
first Americans.
Exactly. So that's a whole and worthy discussion
Absolutely.
to have. But I'm referring to, like, you know, the white people who showed up here
Right.
and started doing stuff. We've had a written language, and these stories have been written down in this country since colonization. And that was not the case in Ireland with their
Passed by word, yeah.
word of mouth, just like
word of mouth, yeah.
it alters things, it changes things, the teller gets to decide what they want to add, what they want to take out. Whereas the second you write it down on a piece of paper, it almost stops changing.
Yeah,
And that's why I think that's another one of the reasons why they're so much more simple
yeah.
and not as drawn out like what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Well, in talking about the formation of America as a young country with Western,
Right.
the Europeans, it's a lot of rugged individualism that still hold us back today. Whereas you got these guys, this is clans. This isn't the story of one person who screwed up. This affected this clan and this other clan. And it's not just relevant for these two people, but it's relevant for their descendants and all of these things as well. Whereas in America, it's just, that's a spooky story. We lose the context of why it's important, if it was important, you know.
I think that's a lot of what we're talking about a lot of the time. It's,
And that's also why I wrote down this quote about America's not really haunted in the early days, because the ghosts don't have any acquaintances to go and haunt. Everyone's forgotten about them because they've moved off.
Yeah, you know? Interesting.
We're just babies over here.
We are.
We're still just a baby country.
We're just little rugrats.
Yup. I think that's a good kickoff for season 2 here, episode 1. Enjoying the weather, enjoying the smokes, the hot leaves. Except Sarah didn't care for your hot leaves.
Not good.
Too many tannins.
I guess.
Bitter.
I know it wasn't that I steeped them too long, because I really didn't steep it very long at all. It just didn't taste good.
It's my water problem.
No.
I think it's kind of good though. If you look back at our episodes before, I mean, our picks can't be perfect every time.
Can't be every time. No.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I do think it's fun to come here and try something for the first time that I haven't tried before, too.
And by all means, somebody may like the bitter taste with the little hint of strawberry.
Yeah. Strawberry marshmallow.
It smelled great.
It smells good.
So
And
good.
it does
and it
smell
looked
so
pretty.
good, but-
Yeah.
I wonder what it'd be like to smoke it. We got to put it in a pipe and smoke
You
it.
gonna smoke my tea?
Why not? You're not going to drink it, are you?
No. You want it?
No.
I'm probably gonna throw it away. I don't know anybody that I would want to give it to.
Well, compost it.
Compost it. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of that. I have time to worry about that with everything else that's going on in my life.
When I compost...
I don't even have a kitchen, guys.
Right. When I compost, that just means I'm sprinkling stuff in the yard. The mower will mulch it.
Yeah.
It'll be compost
It'll get it.
eventually, but I'm not actively involved in composting. Maybe one of these days. All right, guys. How many cigars do you smoke over there?
One.
Just the one?
I know, it's a short one today. Not the cigar, but the
Yeah.
conversation, yeah.
Well, of course, my autumn evening was fabulous, and then I finished up with some folklore here.
So
It was
good.
pretty good.
Oh my God, guys.
What is it?
We're just a bunch of amateurs.
We forgot.
We forgot something big.
We forgot we had to say we have to go through the smoke.
Yeah, we did not go through the smoke. We got to do this all over again.
No.
And a 1 and a 2.
Are we ready to go through the smoke?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's go through the
Let's
smoke.
go through the smoke.
Here we go.
Dang, guys. Oh my God.
I'm going to patch it back in.
We're already
it'll be
starting
fine.
season 2 off rocky.
Well,
Now that we're done talking about my weird tea steeper thing.
we've come out of the smoke.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man.
Oh, Dustin.
He's
Weren't
already...
very
Shake it
headstrong,
off,
Yeah.
dude.
You know?
Yeah, I need
Not
you to
very
listen to
headstrong in this one.
Taylor Swift the whole way home.
Yes, that's your
Shake it
punishment.
off. Headstrong to take you
Or
on.
you could listen to the K-pop Demon Hunter soundtrack the whole way.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
Have you seen that?
No.
K-pop Demon Hunters?
Gosh.
No.
Everybody's going to know exactly when this episode
What?
came out.
Yeah.
They'll be listening to it 5 years from now. And they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, I know when that came out.
Visually, the movie is a spectacle. It's real cool, and it's helpful if you don't think too hard about it.
Oh, yeah, no, don't think about it. It's all about how it looks in the music, I think.
Yeah, it's the music.
Romance
Visually,
storyline.
it's very cool. The romance doesn't make any sense, but
And it also shows up for 15 minutes of the movie and then disappears.
Yeah.
The romance storyline.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird. It's
Yeah.
like we have to put this in.
Listen, you want your
the
head,
algorithm says it will be more popular if there's a love story.
Yeah.
you
Algorithm-based
want your head
movie
blown.
making.
Not really.
It Strawberry Mansion.
I know I still
That
need
is
to watch
so
it. It's on
weird.
my list.
So weird.
It's on my list.
I went and saw Weapons.
I don't want to know about
I
it.
want to see it so bad.
Why didn't you go see it?
'Cause I don't think you guys realize.
That you
You've been
can't go to the
very
movie
good.
by
First,
yourself?
like, right
I
now
know.
is the
Thank you
first
for
time that I've
giving-
ever been able to just slow down.
Keep enjoying the weather. Check us out on Instagram.
Check us out on Instagram.
Yeah. Check us out on Patreon.
Give us a review.
Like, review, tell all your friends. Thanks for listening. And we'll have more for you.
Yeah.
It's going to keep being spooky for a little bit.
It is. Spooky time.
Yep. this is the best time of the year for me.
Me too.
anyways.
Hey, one more thing. Get on Instagram and tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yep.
Make suggestions.
Make suggestions. We want to know.
We're open-minded.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
Until the next one. Oh my gosh. Are we doing season 1's ending, or we have to change this up?
Do we need to change the ending?
is
If
that
we're going to
you want?
discuss this, I have to pee.
Wait, what ending are we changing? Why would
That's
we
what we're
change
Play
getting
us
into.
off.
Every
doesn't pee
conversation
dance.
from
Oh
now
my
on,
God, I have to pee.
he's gonna be like, if we're gonna continue this, I gotta go pee.
Go pee, go pee, go pee. I think we stick with play us out.
All
Is
right.
it play us out or play us off?
Play us
I
off.
think it's funny that we say a different thing every time.
Yeah.
True.
Let's keep up that.
Well, play
us off.
Play us out.
Cannons rode on White Plains ground. The Hessian fell, his head not found. Laid to rest in shallow clay, his spirit still rides into the fray. Whisper stir where the shadows creep, tales of a rider who cannot sleep. Moonlight glints on the phantom's rein, hoofbeats pound through the darkened lane. Ride, Hessian, ride where the dark winds roar, chasing the head that was lost in war. At the church bridge your journey will end, till the night calls you riding again. Dutchmen spoke of the curse he bore, a soldier bound to the fields of war. Through fog and forest his figure flies, riding blind 'neath the starless sky. No grave can bind, no dawn can stay the rider cursed till judgment day. With iron hooves on the hollow ground, the Hessian rides where the lost are found. Ride, Hessian, ride where the dark winds roar, chasing the head that was lost in war. At the church bridge your journey will end, till the night calls you riding again. If you walk where the willows bend, pray the horseman does not descend. For in the hollow where shadows reign, the headless Hessian rides again. Ride, Hessian, ride where the dark winds roar, chasing the head that was lost in war. At the church bridge your journey will end, till the night calls you riding again. Through Sleepy Hollow the tale is told, a ghost still bound by the cannon's toll. And when you hear hoofbeats in the glen, the Hessian rides once again.